welcome back to another View from the Stands by the Last Thoughts blog. Just a series where we go through your tweets and reactions, and today we will be going through your reactions regarding the retained list that has come out of the football club. So we'll kick straight off then. Lewis Browning said, "Would given Zesh a year, really happy Parker got a deal though, was ready to be released, shame for Nelson." Yeah, I mean, looking at that, in my opinion, looking at the centre halves we've had at the club in recent times, certainly Egan last year, Oshalaja, Aimer. Ability-wise, he'd probably be right down the pecking order, and I just think that. I think that we should be well attracting someone better centre half wise. Yes, he's been experienced. Yes, he's probably helped us out quite a lot in the dressing room, and on the pitch at times. But I just think that ultimately we don't want to be where we were this year, and I think that we need better centre halves. And for me, Zesh wouldn't be there. Really happy Parker got a deal as well. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Parker when he first come in. At times looked lazy, but for me, he certainly changed my opinion on him. And yeah, I mean, he gives everything for the cause, and he more importantly, he wants to be at the football club as well, and certainly if Pennock is going to start turning things around, he needs people like Parker. So Neil Last then said, gutted about Nelson. Yeah, aren't we all? I was speaking to Reece earlier about this, and we were certainly saying that. In regards to Stuart Nelson, that is it a case that do we as Steelers fans almost look beyond these mistakes and what he does wrong because of who he is, because he's a fan's favourite, and we've got to be quite careful of that, because there's been times this year that Nelson's cost us games, and we've kind of overlooked it because it is Stuart Nelson. And you can't take away the fact that he's certainly a legend, and he gives everything for that badge, and yes, he's experienced, but looking at moving forward, certainly for me, I don't think Holy is the way forward. I don't think there is too much between them two. Holy's made mistakes as well, cost us a game at MK Dons, and really, in the games that I've seen him, he's no better than Stuart Nelson. So in terms of that, it's a strange move, but in terms of coming towards the end of his career, only a year left on the deal, and I don't think Eddie Pennock really fancies Stuart Nelson. But in terms of my opinion, I think that I would love to see Stuart Nelson get back to where he was, but the more games he's played, he's not quite improving, and he's getting older. So yeah, it's upsetting, but I think probably the right move. So Mark Walder then said, agree with most, not surprises me, but he's probably got something lined up. If Nelson wants first team footy, then it's the right decision. Spot on there, Mark. Not really does surprise me, considering that I think Bradley Dack will go. Club need the money, so it's a ready-made replacement for Dack, and for some reason, since Pennock's walked through that door, has not been a firm favourite under Eddie Pennock, and that really surprises me, because if we get him in that number 10 role where he wants to play, Knock can do some real damage, and it's a strange move. Like I said about Nelson, what's that first team football? Yeah, completely agree. I think that if Nelson does want first team football, which he's not going to get here, it's time to move on. So Matt Thompson asked, just hope Cody Mack signs. Yeah, so do we, Matt. Anyone that thinks Cody McDonald has finished at this football club is deluded. If you look back on the season that we've just had, you look back at that Bristol Rovers game, in the last 3 games, we won 1 game, and that was due to one man, Cody McDonald. He's still a match winner. He's still got goals in him. You put a partner beside him, and he's certainly going to hit 20 goals again. Got 12 goals in a struggling side, which is good for Cody. And yeah, I'd offer him a deal, no doubt about that. Italian Jill then said, I agree with it mostly, just sad to see Nelson and not be transfer listed, or just sad to Nelson and not be transfer listed, like most people, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, we're all sad about it. I'm more baffled about not than Nelson, but yeah, we certainly are sad about it. Just looking at the others. Steve Agate said, out of all of these, I think it's only Jackson who could ever come back and put in a good performance against us. Yeah, you're probably right, Steve. Looking at the retained list, looking at Hurd on there, I mean, it'd be a bit hard for him to even kick a football. Raymond, again, I know a few agree, few don't. I was just thinking of Muldoon. Well, don't know how he is even a pro footballer, to be honest. Yeah, I mean Jackson's really the top of that list on a bang average list, isn't he? He's the top of it. And knowing Gilles, Jackson's more than likely to come back and probably for Northampton, to be honest. Come back and have a good game against us. Ben Thompson then said, agreed with everything, be amazed if Cody doesn't sign now. Well, yeah, I would be amazed, but depends what worries me slightly is that we've offered Cody a deal. I don't say 1 or 2 years though, does it? If it's 1, we might have a bit of an issue. I don't think you sign a 1-year deal, but hopefully it's 2. Because why wouldn't you want to tie that man down to a 2-year? If it was me, I'd give him a lifetime deal for Cody. Just having a look. And then Lewis Hart said, that would have been my retained list. No shocks for me. Yeah, bang on, Lewis. I think the club have got it pretty spot on. I mean, yeah, just looking at the retained list, some players that don't deserve a new deal, and out of a pretty poor bunch, were the bunch that I thought would go. I mean, Mitchell Dickinson, the way he was treated over the phone is not that great, but just looking at the list, I can't really argue with it, and I don't think many Gilles fans can argue with it. So yeah, I mean, Gillingham Debate said, correct for all those out of contract. Hope we've offered enough for Cody to stay, unless Nelson has asked to go. Wouldn't have listed him myself. We've not. Well, shame we haven't seen his best. Would have liked him to stay, but if poison, then correct. Well, that is interesting. I mean, I don't think Nelson has asked to go. I think the fact is that Pennock's probably pulled him into his office and said, I'm not going to offer you first team football. And Nelson's always maintained that he wants first team football. He loves us, he loves the club. We're probably his favourite club that he's ever had. But ultimately, at his age, he wants to be playing first team football. And I don't think we can offer it here. So I think it's more terms of Pennock said that we can't offer you first team football. And Nelson said, okay then, I'm going to have to have a look for a move away. It is a big shame that we haven't seen him in his best position, which I think is that number 10 role. I mean, I think he's probably part of the poison, but I just think that he's probably not a player that Pennant fancies. I think listening to what he does want, he wants players that are going to be tall, strong, battle hard. Not saying won't do that. Just saying that I think he fancies the old kind of fashion players that are going to put in a big tackle where Knott's a pretty footballer, likes to get moves started, and I don't think he's a panic player. I think that's more than what it is. So yeah, I mean, I think there's one more that we can see here. Yeah, Gary Davis, last one then, Gary Davis. Are we sure we want to lose S. Nelson and B. Knott? I mean, like I've touched on it about Stuart Nelson. Probably the right move for him if he's not going to play games. It's sad to see him go, and it's kind of sad that we didn't really give him the send off that he deserves. Not again, like I said, doesn't really surprise me because I don't think he's an 80 player. So we just have to wait and see. I think in regards to listing players, I think we'll probably see Dak go, just finances, and I think that towards the end of the season, certainly he started getting himself sent off and looked a little bit disinterested. So I think Bradley Dak will be the one to go. I think there's a few rumours flying about Josh Wright. We'll have to wait and see on that one. If we get a good enough deal for him, and he might well be off as well. But yeah. So guys, thanks for sending in all your tweets. We're going to be doing, like Reece said last week, that we're going to be doing this a regular thing throughout the season. Get you guys involved, get the tweets up. We're going to do it post-match reactions as well when the matches are on. So get you guys involved as well, because most importantly, you are the most important people that make this blog. So keep up the good work. Thanks for liking, thanks for retweeting, commenting, subscribing. I think we're on 376 subscribers, which is amazing. We're on nearly 25,000 views, which is absolutely crazy. And more importantly, up the Gills.